everyone, Aubrey here. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Pumpkin Festival, how that went. So I'm going to be throwing as I'm talking just because I figured at least add a little bit more interest to the video than just listening to me talk. I'm actually going to be I'm trying to throw some more of these pumpkin mugs. So this was a trial. I threw it on the wheel and then, formed it into a pumpkin shape and then added all the stuff later. And then I slip trailed Hello Pumpkin on there. So I'm going to try and make some more of those for the next show I have, which is on the 22nd. So I'll be doing that as I'm talking. So the festival was on the 8th, this last Saturday, and it was a 9 to 3 event. We could have started setting up at 5 a.m., but we got there about 6, I believe, 6:30. Found our spot, and we had a decent location. The only issue, or the first issue that we ran across, was that it was raining and it was cold, which we haven't had rain here in a while. So of course the first day or the one time that I need it to not rain, it's raining, but oh well. Luckily the night before, my husband, I'm struggling to talk and do this at the same time. My husband checked the weather, and he noticed that the chances for rain had gone up, because we knew it might rain, but the chances were low up until the night before. So he checked it and he's like, maybe we should go get a canopy, because we didn't have one. So he found a store that was open that happened to have one, a 10 by 10 canopy. So he went and got that late at night, and thank goodness, because it rained pretty much the entire time. It was either sprinkling or raining. I think there was maybe like a 30-minute period where it wasn't. Anyway, other than that, the setup went pretty well. We kind of sketched out an idea, and I'll put the pictures and videos ahead of this, but the setup it worked out okay. There were a couple things I'm probably going to change for the next one, but he made some like A-frame ladders, and then we put boards across those, and that worked out good. We also found this set of like cube, what do you call it? Where you put the little box cubes in, but it's just the frame for it. We found 2 matching ones. I just got clay on my face. So we got those for like 20 bucks, which those were really handy. We had those on top of a table at the back. And so the display wasn't bad. The ornaments, we had got a little Christmas tree, just a little one. We borrowed one from my mom. And it worked out a little bit, but people were looking more at the ornaments that were on the table versus the tree. I think the foliage on the tree covered them up too much, so they didn't see them or something. So we moved everything from the tree down to the table. So I think if I bring the tree next time, I'm just gonna use it as strictly a decoration, not as a display. Because the ornaments were easier to see on the table. The ornaments were actually a pretty good hit. So, complete transparency, the ornaments ranged from $6 to $20. I know that sounds like a lot for an ornament, but there were 2 $20 ornaments, and they had molded flowers on them, and a molded V on them, and I'll put a picture at the end of this video for you to look at. and then I put gold luster on it afterwards. So I did charge more for those. And if they don't sell, I'm gonna keep them because they're cute and I like them. But, so the ornaments were a good hit. The butter dishes did pretty well too. I brought, I think 10 or 11 of them, and I think I sold 2 or 3, but I had a lot of questions and interest regarding those. So, yeah, I think those will be a staple item for me. I charged $50 for the butter dishes because they are time consuming and require a little bit more precise work. And then the glaze, and you know, they just require more, so I charge more for those. So this first show was definitely a test to see how well my items do at the price point that I currently have them at. And so there are some items that I'm gonna reduce the price on. Ones that I feel like I still have a pretty good margin once I reduce that. And I'm still taking into account materials and time, and I don't expect to make my salary per hour doing pottery. Not yet. So I'm okay reducing those. It's better to me, it's better to at least sell something, you know. I'm still making money on it, just not as much, and that's fine. So some of the mugs I'm gonna reduce prices on. Let's see what else. I sold 1 planter. I made those 4 planters that you guys saw in the last video. I sold 1 of the planters. I sold a couple of the tumblers, 1 of the cactus tumblers from way back and 1 of the leopard ones. I sold a few mugs. I didn't sell any magnets, which I'm surprised because those are the cheap items. I thought for sure those would go. And I think maybe just because I didn't have them labeled good enough, I had put stickers on the back of them, so people were looking at them, but they didn't know where the price was, so they moved on. And so I think that's honestly another thing, being transparent with your prices at these shows. You know, I had talked to my husband beforehand because I bought these price tags, and I bought a custom stamp, an ink stamp, and I stamped our logo on one side, and then I wrote the prices and a brief description of what the item is on the other side. And so I was like, should we put the name tag or the logo out or the price facing out? And we started off with putting the logo out because we're trying to get our logo out there, you know. But by the end of it, I went in and I had turned them around to show the prices because I feel like people are uncomfortable when they have to go in and look for the price tag on something. I know I would, because I feel like if I go to a booth and I need to look at a price, and if I look at it and then don't get it, why? But so just to save people from that discomfort, I think. And then the questions that I received the most, you know, people asked me, do you have a Facebook, or do you have a business card? And luckily I did do a last minute, I created a last minute business card on Amazon. So I did have some, and I handed a lot of those out. A lot of people wanted those because they were thinking of like custom stuff that they wanted. I did have a sign that I wood burned on that said accepting custom orders, and a lot of people were interested in that. So maybe I'll get some of those trickling in eventually. But some of the questions that that I got were, is this food safe? Yes. The only items that I brought that weren't food safe were some trinket dishes that I put glass in the bottom of, or if I had made, there was one, I made a spoon rest and the glaze that I put on there wasn't a good fit with the clay, so it had some crazing on it, so I marked on the tag, not food safe. This is for like jewelry or something, you know, and that one actually did sell. I was surprised. And then people asked if they could put it in the microwave and the dishwasher, and most of that would be yes, except anything that has gold on it, obviously we can't put in the microwave. So that was the most common question, probably. Can this go in the microwave or dishwasher? What else? The funny one, to me it's funny because, I don't know. Did you make all this? Yeah, I made all this. Oh my gosh, it must have taken you forever. Yes, it did. And I guess I need to, because I do this so much, I know what things are. Like a spoon rest, to me, looks like a spoon rest. But I try to think back of like before I was a potter, would I have known that? There were some people that did not know what those were, and so they looked at them and they liked the glaze and they're like, what is this? And so I made a paper sign after that said spoon rest on it. But yeah, some people thought they were for incense and other things like that, which I don't make any of that. So I found that kind of funny. But yeah, that was another question that did get asked, was what things were, like the sponge holders. I didn't bring a sponge to put in one of them as a display. I should have, and I didn't think about it. So I added a sign later on that one too. I sold one sponge holder, I think. I only brought like 4 because I have just started making those. That's fine. Let's see. I did not sell as many pieces as I thought I would. I thought I would sell more of the spoon rests and magnets and ornaments because those are the cheaper items. But I actually sold more of some of my bigger items, like the butter dishes and mugs. And so money-wise, I feel like we did better than we expected to, which was great. It was exciting. It made me feel like, okay, we can do this again. You know, this was going to be a test as to, is this worth it? Can I at least pay the booth fee back? Which the booth fee for that one was only $50. So I made that back fairly quickly. The next one that I'm doing is on the 22nd, and it's only a $30 fee, but this is like my hometown. There's only going to be like 20 booths there. It's going to be a small one. There's a Christmas Expo November 19th and 20th in Shawnee that I'm thinking about doing, but that one's $125 for the weekend. So we're still thinking about that one because we would probably have to stay in a hotel there if we did that one. What, honey? I don't know. You don't need it, do you? My daughter's asking me where the tape is. Let's see, what else? There were a lot of people there, even with the rain. I mean, there had to be like 2,000 or 3,000 people there. There was a lot of traffic. So that was great. I was afraid with the rain that it was just gonna be a terrible event to do for the first one, but it turned out great. So yeah, it was fun, and I'm excited for the next one. So my daughter took a few videos for me while I was putting the display up. I think I'll put the videos at the end so you hear me talk, and then if you don't want to hear me talk, you can skip to the end and see all that stuff. See what my display looked like, which will be a tiny bit different for the next one. Again, learning what worked and what didn't. Hopefully it is not raining at the next one. That was the worst part. It was cold and rainy. Yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment. It was fun. I look forward to doing it again. On a side note, my church is letting me host a event. Yeah, okay. Where we're gonna make some ornaments. I'm gonna teach them how to make ornaments. So haven't 100% figured out how that's gonna go yet. You know, they're gonna make them from scratch, so they can either paint some underglaze on them when they're done, or they can tell me what glazes they want, and I can glaze them and then get them to them later. I haven't figured that part out. It's gonna be fun though. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I love hanging out with these ladies. We've done some paint parties, or I've gone to one paint party with them before, and that was a lot of fun. So hopefully this will be the same, except I'm teaching it. And I'm not an expert, but I do know how to make an ornament. So that'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to doing that, and hopefully we can do more of that in the future. Just make different things. I don't know, but yeah. If you guys have any more questions about, you know, what it looked like, questions or anything like that, just reach out to me. I'm happy to answer those. The pumpkin's like turning into a square. I want it circle. Circle. What? It did turn into a square. It's because of the way I did it. So this needs to go out like that more, maybe. This is fun. I like making these. They take a little while, but they're fun. Okay, we are almost done with this stage, and then we have to let it dry for a little while, stiffen up, and then we can trim the bottom. Then we can add a handle, add our designs, our molded leaves and all that. I don't know if I'll slip tray on all of them. Some of them I'll probably leave plain. But alright, I think that one is done. Sweet. There you go. You hear me ramble and watch me make a pumpkin mug. Alright, stay tuned for the videos from the festival and some photos after this. And if you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.